What do you say to parents that are looking at their kids while they're dying, or parents that worry about their children dying, and parents that have to come to terms with their young children dying?
What do I say to them?
Yeah. Because now it's not their death, it's their child's death. And like you said, they're looking at all of this life's potential, which is probably the wrong way to look at that.
Well, it's just that it's not true. I don't know if it's wrong. It's just not true, you know. I don't have a recipe that if you follow it, none of the things I've talked about for the last hour will happen. They've already happened. This is where we are, right? So anything I have to say doesn't make that go away. Anything I have to say gives you the capacity to befriend the poverties that you were born to in this matter. So, a story, much better than a concept. 7-year-old's dying of leukemia down the hall. I'm in the family room with the family. They're going crazy. I say, what do you think hurts you more than anything else? So-and-so's dying. You sure that's what it is? Of course. Now they're already looking at you like, how about this, I say? All this life that they won't get to live, isn't that the thing? Lion's share of people agreed. That was the thing. It's a ripoff. It's wrong. It's unnatural. All of that. I should be being buried by them, not burying them next year. Okay. I understand the should. It's not accurate, but I understand it. I say, okay, so let's do this. Let's go down and ask her if she's had a full life, because you're sure she hasn't. And this is what's killing you slowly. And this is what's going to end your marriage. Statistically, I don't know if you know that, but somewhere in the high 60s of all marriages where a young child dies in the marriage, they separate within two or 3 years.
Wow.
Irrevocably.
Wow.
Yeah. So I dropped that in there. So should we, and they all look at you like, it's unthinkable. You'd actually rub her face and, well, you're just talking like she doesn't know. Rub her face, come on, come on. She's in the ward, what do you think? But anyway, I don't say all that, because we don't argue. I say, too much, I understand. I'll tell you what, I'm getting paid the big bucks here. Why don't I go find out? I'll go ask, I'll come back. I'll tell you what she said, yeah? But everybody wants me to. That's the truth. Okay, I go down there, come in, move the chair, I'm not sitting across from her like this, kind of beside her. I say, well, I was with your family in the family room. She said. I said, pretty crazy. She says, yeah. I said, you know why? She said, yeah, I know why. Because what's really killing them is if I know I'm dying. So every time they're around, I don't know. Jesus. I said, okay, well, you got that figured out pretty good. That's true. Well, here's the thing that's today's weird piece. Ready? Yeah, what? Well, they're pretty sure you're not going to have a full life. A 7-year-old just looks at you and can't make sense of that phrase at all. You actually have to explain it, and good luck with that. Well, here's the thing. That's what's killing them. So I have to find out if you've had a full life and go back and tell them. But I need examples. It can't be yes or no. It's full life, you know, stuff that made it the whole thing pretty good. So she's thinking, of course, adults are weird. That's her first and only enduring thought about all this. But she comes up with something, and I remember this one distinctly. She said, I rode a horse one time. I'm writing it down on a piece of paper because that's it. She got it now. I rode a horse one time. She said, but I need 3, I said, not just 1. That's good though, because that's pretty much a full life right there, riding a horse. What's the second one? She thought about it for a minute. She said, I fell off. Well, you can't get fuller than riding a horse and falling off. And I wrote it down, I fell off. I said, just humor us. One more. She's thinking about it. I said, don't tell me you got back on, because anybody would hear that one coming. It has to be something else. She said, well, there's a time, you know, there's a next door neighbor, which I always thought he was kind of cute. She's 7, and she's using the word always. Anyway, I thought he was kind of cute, you know, but he didn't even know I existed, of course. And So one day we're in the backyard, whatever, it's not that long ago, and a fly landed on his shoulder, you know, and I didn't want the fly to be on his shoulder, right? So I went to brush it off, and just at the moment that he turned, and my fingers touched his cheek. I said, that's plenty. Wrote that one down. And I know they're not even going to get to the third one. It's good. I get it. You get it too. I'll see what I can do. Go down. They're waiting for you. What did she say? Well, she said she rode a horse once. Half the place is dissolved. Oh, she doesn't understand. She thinks it's about horse riding. She kind of understands. Because she doesn't have the capacity to not have a full life. That's an affliction of us. Her understanding of life is, that's what it is. You know, it's not like there's gradations of full. That's what it is when you're 7. It's just, you know, high definition all the time. I didn't even get to the third one. They couldn't have stood the third one, I don't think. So you have to learn empty life. What kind of a lesson is that? That's where your grievance about being ripped off because you're dying comes from having been taught about empty life and full life. That's a curse. That's not a teaching.